results. Incidentally, I've got one football result that's just come in now. Manchester City 4, Leeds 0. So that's a blow to Leeds Championship hopes. City hadn't scored in their last 4. They got 4 today. We can go to the video printer now. A goal flash. Newcastle 2 up against, 2, Tranmere 3. Right, so Manchester City have won, as I said, 4-0. Ralph Deller's got the details.
April the 4th will be remembered as the day when the 1992 Grand National and the 1992 boat race were decided. It might also go down as the day on which the 1992 League Championship was decided as well. While the dark blues held sway on the Tideway, it was the light blues of Manchester City that could have ended Leeds' title hopes at Main Road. City took the lead when Hill arrived through a crowd of players to head in Brennan's left-wing corner. Then Sheron chased after a through ball, bravely got a foot to it in front of a flying challenge from Lukic for City's second. Quinn chipped in the third off the bar from wide on the right, and Brennan went through on his own for the fourth. City keeper Coton was on outstanding form to deny Leeds a way back, but this was Manchester City's day, and perhaps Manchester United's too.
And City meet Manchester United this coming week. What a turn-up that was there. And in case you missed it earlier, incidentally, Oxford won the boat race. What's new? So these are not final scores going through at the moment. Scottish 2 is, Albion 1, Cowdenbeath 2, and Premier League, Dunfermline 0, Aberdeen 0. And still in the Premier League, Dundee United 2, St Johnstone 1. And if you're just tuning in, the full result of the Grand National Party Politics 1, fittingly this week perhaps, 14-1 from Romany King at 16-1, Laura's Bow 12-1, Docklands Express, the favourite, Peter Scudamore on board, was 4th. Division 4, Barnet 3, Northampton 0. Northampton, well, almost out of business this week, but they still survive, play their match, but get beaten. Airdrie 0, Hearts 0 in the Scottish Cup. Airdrie 0, Hearts 0 in the Scottish Cup. We thought there was a scorer early for Hearts, but we'll check on that. Division 2, Southend 1, Ipswich 2. Ipswich well clear at the top of the second division. 4th Division, Maidstone 0, Scunthorpe 1. Scottish 2, Clyde 0, Alloa 1. And 1st Division, Luton 2, Wimbledon 1. Another escape act for Luton this season. That'll help. 3 points there. Imre Varadi, the veteran, really, I suppose, these days, who's recently signed for them. I think he might be on loan. David Priest got the other. Imre Varadi got the first. John Fashanu for Wimbledon. Bury 3, Hull 2. That's a goal flash. 3rd Division, Brentford 2, Shrewsbury 0. Brentford lost their form of late, looking for certainly a playoff place in Division 3, and that'll help today. Hibs 0, Motherwell 0, Scottish Premier. Scottish 1, Montrose 0, Stirling 0. This would appear to be not a final score. Spurs 2, Aston Villa 4. Well, they had a good win in midweek, Spurs, with Lineker's hat-trick against West Ham, but they've got such wretched home form. Villa have hardly scored any goals in the last few matches. Daly got the 4th goal there. Scottish 1, Meadowbank 0, Dundee 0. Gary Lineker missed a penalty, incidentally, today. And, of course, Villa beat Spurs in the Cup. Now, Chelsea 2, West Ham 1. West Ham look as though they're going down. Chesterfield 1, York 3 in Division 4. Scottish 2, East Stirling 1, Stranraer 0. 2nd Division now. Charlton, promotion hopes 0, Plymouth 0. Plymouth at the other end of the table. 3rd Division, Leyton Orient 4, Hartlepool 0. Scottish Premier, Falkirk 0, Celtic 3. Celtic had a very useful second half to the season. Just to remind you, Leeds beaten 4-0 at Manchester City today. A dent to their championship hopes indeed. Scottish 1, 4-1, Wraith 2. 2nd Division now, Newcastle 2. Here's a final score, Tranmere 3. Newcastle still got big relegation worries. Oxford United 1. Wolves 0, but that appears to be not a final score. Here are some more full times now. GM Conference, Bath 2, Barrow 1. Division 2, Grimsby 0, Bristol Rovers 1. 2nd Division again, Barnsley 0, Derby 3. Derby looking for a playoff place. Scottish 1, Clydebank 1, Ayr 0. Third Division, Swansea 2, Fulham 2. Just one score draw so far. Can we check on that Scottish Cup score? It was 0-0, confirmed. We had a scorer earlier for Hearts, but it was 0-0. East Fife 0, Dumbarton 2. The goal that we thought happened in the 70th minute for Hearts was in the end disallowed. Rangers already through to that final. Blackpool 2, Mansfield 1. Promotion hopefuls both. First Division now, Forest, well beaten in midweek. Beaten again by Sheffield Wednesday, 0-2. Paul Williams and David Hurst for Wednesday, both in the first half. Forest been busy lately, but two bad defeats there. Fourth Division, Hereford 1, Rotherham 0. And Third Division, Exeter 0, Huddersfield 1. Still only one score draw. That would be quite extraordinary. First Division now, Sheffield United 2, Oldham 0. United moving up the league, David Whitehouse and Ian Bryson. Bryson scored in the second half, Whitehouse scored in the first. A reminder, in case you didn't know, of course, we've got both semi-finals in the FA Cup tomorrow live for you. First Liverpool-Portsmouth in the lunchtime. 12:45 we start. Bristol City have beaten Leicester 2-1. And then we'll have Norwich-Sunderland to follow that. Both matches live here on BBC One. Cambridge 1, Millwall 0. Cambridge hopeful of promotion to the new Premier League, and Bradford 1, Preston 1. Now let's hear about Adrian Hearts. Jock Brown.
So the semi-final ending in a goalless draw, although Hearts will be the side less happy about that in view of two good efforts in the last quarter of an hour. In 75 minutes, a controversial moment when a free kick by Gary Mackay was powerfully headed home by Dave McPherson, but the referee chopped that off for illegal use of the elbow by McPherson as he jumped for the ball. I reckon that decision was right. Then, 2 minutes from the end, a headed across goal by Craig Levine, John Robertson turned the ball goalwards, and John Martin just prevented the ball crossing the line. It would have been rough justice in Airdrie. In the end, a replay just about right. Airdrie 0, Hearts 0.
To play Rangers in the final. Now, where were we? Bradford 1, Preston 1. We saw that Cambridge had won. Palace 2, Everton 0. Southampton 2, QPR 1. A rare defeat for Rangers. And Southampton keep winning, moving well clear of relegation. Rochdale 2, Cardiff 0. Crewe 1, Burnley 0. A blow to Burnley's championship hopes. And Swindon 1, Port Vale 0. A blow to Port Vale staying in Division 2. Only 3 score draws. Tom Jones scored for Swindon today. So Ipswich have won at the top of the second division. Cambridge have won. Blackburn not playing today. Kenny Dalglish was here watching the Grand National, actually. First division, Coventry 0, Arsenal 1. Kevin Campbell. Arsenal unbeaten in 11 games now. Brechin 1, Arbroath 0 in Scottish 2. We've moved up to 4 score draws. If you back party politics and Oxford and pick those, you'd be in the money. If you're just switching on, Leeds championship hopes dented today with a 4-0 drubbing at Manchester City. And third division, Torquay 2, Stockport in second place 0. Now, let's have the full classified check for you.
Barclays League Division 1. Chelsea 2, West Ham United 1. Coventry City 0, Arsenal 1. Crystal Palace 2, Everton 0. Luton Town 2, Wimbledon 1. Manchester City 4, Leeds United 0. Nottingham Forest 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Sheffield United 2, Oldham Athletic 0. Southampton 2, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Tottenham Hotspur 2, Aston Villa 5. League Division 2, Barnsley 0, Derby County 3. Bristol City 2, Leicester City 1. Cambridge United 1, Millwall 0. Charlton Athletic 0, Plymouth Argyle 0. Grimsby Town 0, Bristol Rovers 1. Middlesbrough 1, Watford 2, Newcastle United 2, Tranmere Rovers 3, Oxford United 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Southend United 1, Ipswich Town 2, Swindon Town 1, Port Vale 0. League Division 3, Birmingham City 2, Reading 0. Bradford City 1, Preston North End 1. Brentford 2, Shrewsbury Town 0. Bury 3, Hull City 2. Exeter City 0, Huddersfield Town 1. Leyton Orient 4, Hartlepool United 0. Stoke City against Darlington, that's a void game, counts as an away win. Swansea City 2, Fulham 2. Torquay United 2, Stockport County 0. West Bromwich Albion 2, Bolton Wanderers 2. League Division 4, Barnet 3, Northampton Town 0. Blackpool 2, Mansfield Town 1. Chesterfield 1, York City 3. Crewe Alexandra 1, Burnley 0. Hereford United 1, Rotherham United 0. Maidstone United 0. Scunthorpe United 1. Rochdale 2, Cardiff City 0. Scarborough against Gillingham is a late result. The Vauxhall Conference, Bath City 2, Barrow 1. Boston United 2, Altrincham 1. Farnborough Town against Wycombe Wanderers, a late result. Kettering Town 1, Gateshead 1. Redbridge Forest 1, Merthyr Tydfil 1. Runcorn 2, Yeovil Town 2. Slough Town against Northwich Victoria, and Stafford Rangers against Kidderminster Harriers, late results. In fact, there's the Stafford Rangers Kidderminster Harrier result. Stafford Rangers 2, Kidderminster Harriers 0. And Slough Town 0, Northwich Victoria 1. Telford United 2, Cheltenham Town 1. Tennant Scottish Cup semi-final, Edrionians 0, Hardiman Lothian 0. The B&Q Scottish League Premier Division, Dundee United 2, St Johnstone 1. Dunfermline Athletic 0, Aberdeen 0. Falkirk 0, Celtic 3. Birmingham 0, Motherwell 0. Scottish League Division 1, Clydebank 1, Ayr United 0. Forfar Athletic 1, Raith Rovers 2. Kilmarnock 1, Partick Thistle 3. Meadowbank Thistle 0, Dundee 0. Montrose 0, Stirling Albion 0. Morton 1, Hamilton Academical 1. And Scottish League Division 2, Albion Rovers 1, Cowdenbeath 2. Berwick Rangers 0, Stenhousemuir 1. Brecon City 1, Arbroath 0. Clyde 0, Alloa Athletic 1. East Fife 0, Dumbarton 2. East Stirlingshire 1, Stranraer 0. And Queen of the South 5, Queen's Park 3. Other pools matches, Emily 3, Southport 2. Gainsborough Trinity 1, Fleetwood Town 1. Horwich RMI 1, Leek Town 1. Morecambe 0, Shepshed Albion 2. Mossley 0, Matlock Town 1. Atherstone United 0, Cambridge City 1. Chelmsford City 0, Dover Athletic 1. Corby Town 1, Bromsgrove Rovers 3. Dorchester Town 1, Dartford 1. Fisher Athletic 3, Waterlooville 2.
And late results in Division 4, Scarborough 2, Gillingham 1. And in the conference, Farnborough Town 1, Wycombe Wanderers, heading for promotion, perhaps, to the League 3. 7 score draws in the end, 4 no-score draws, no decision yet, but I suspect it'll be a bumper weekend. And the 7 score draw numbers are 17, 23, 25, 35, 36, 42 and 52. And the no-score draws, just 4 of them, 45, 46, 50 and 51. Now, the First Division, Leeds United had that great chance to go top, but went down to their heaviest defeat of the season, 4-0 at Manchester City. They stay in second place, a point behind Manchester United, who had no game this afternoon, but play City this coming week. Sheffield Wednesday's win at Nottingham Forest consolidated their position in 3rd, and Arsenal's victory at Coventry lifts them up to 4th. At the bottom in the relegation zone, Luton's win over Wimbledon maintains their slim hopes of avoiding the drop again. Notts County didn't play today. West Ham's defeat by Chelsea sees them remain bottom and almost certain for relegation now. Second Division, Ipswich Town's victory at Southend maintains their 4-point lead at the top. Cambridge, who beat Millwall, move into second place above Blackburn, who had no game today. And at the bottom, Oxford's win at Wolves lifts them out of the bottom 3. Brighton drop into it. Port Vale's defeat by Swindon sees them right at the foot. Third Division, Stoke City, who beat Darlington last night, had their lead reduced to 3 points after Birmingham's 2-0 victory over Reading. Stockport slipped to 3rd after losing at Torquay. Brentford and Leyton Orient strengthened their positions with victories over Shrewsbury and Hartlepool, respectively. Bottom, no movement out of the bottom 4 after today's matches, although Bury improved their position by defeating Hull 3-2. Shrewsbury lost at Brentford to slip below them. In Division 4, 2 goals by Dave Banter gave Blackpool a 2-1 win at home to Mansfield in the big match there. Burnley beaten 1-0 at Crewe, so the gap at the top now reduced to only 2 points. At the bottom, Doncaster and Carlisle were both without games today, but York's win at Chesterfield pushes them further into isolation at the foot of the table. Scottish Premier, 1 significant change at the top. Celtic's victory at Falkirk lifts them above Hearts, who were involved in the Scottish Cup today, had a goalless draw with Airdrie, and Rangers remain 5 points clear in front. Division 1, Dundee and Partick Thistle in pole positions at the moment. And Division 2, Cowdenbeath stay on course for Division 1 after beating bottom club Albion Rovers 2-1. Dumbarton and Alloa also win to keep it pretty tight at the top. And at the bottom, Albion Rovers' defeat leaves them still marooned right at the foot of the table. Now, the pause information, we've got the up-to-date news, and telephone claims are required for 22.5 or 23 points. Dividend forecast is very good. It's a weekend when you may very well get rich. Now, tomorrow, we've got a big day of sport. We've had a big day of sport today, I'm sure you'll agree. And again on BBC television tomorrow, the FA Cup semi-finals. We start with Liverpool-Portsmouth at 1 o'clock. We start at 12:45, in fact. The kick-off's at 1 o'clock. And then we go straight on to Norwich against Sunderland. The kick-off there is 3:30, 6-1 against an all second division final. Now, let's bring you the close